call it, this desert town. Arkham has had a couple games where he's just basically got fried right off the start. He was top 15 earlier. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Rux has got the better of him through these previous games, having it back on him for a moment as that airstrike did come down.
Don't count him out just yet, though. This drop, honestly, one of the in the game, you have a lot of materials as well.
Grenades in Rux's inventory. He can somehow bait Arkham bad spot and use those to his advantage. It could be the thing that swings the tide in this battle. Has to throw the chunk splashes down. I was going to say, wondering when he was going to begin to throw them, but there they are. Chunk splashes down. Zero limbs still as you'd expect, as he's still looking around for where Arkham could be.
You hope to save those and not necessarily use this yet. The anticipation of combat, or at least the chance of it. Throw those down real quick. 40 HP shield. These two just kind of at a stalemate. The spawns here. Getting all the way in the safe zone soon. The nade's going down. Rux takes quite a bit of damage from Arkham, and aggression begins. The build-up. He's going to try and take the high ground shots from Rux. No contact just yet. Have to do some damage before you know it. Only 96 HP is not going to necessarily be enough against a player with accuracy like Arkham.
But he does have the combat shotgun, which is the ultimate tool in the game. Rux still at 96 health, has those grenades in his back pocket. Hasn't thrown any more yet. 15 builds still remaining. A very intense fight for these two. The shot comes through. Down to just 41 HP. Rux versus Arkham. Who can come out on top? Rux still with high ground. Arkham down below. Will he begin to throw these grenades? It doesn't appear so. Only 6 builds left. And remember, with only 2 games remaining in the competition today, this could spell disaster for their final performance. Arkham popping 1 shield. Definitely has a major health advantage, but still, height can make all the difference. He has the combat shotgun, but except for now.
I was anticipating if Rux had made a tag, he got damage on Arkham down on the bottom of that building. I would have expected a push, a chance to pick up that the 50 HP or shield. He was a siphon, no damage dealt there. So Rux decides to opt his way out. King, one of our high healing players, 35 HP, going to try and get that med kit off, but he can't quite. Time to fight it out. A bit of a build battle and see who can take ownership of the walls. Keep building up and layering yet again. Oh my gosh, Shockwave. He's actually going for it. Are you kidding me? Nessie goes down, and King back up to 85 HP. What a play.
On the World Cup stage,
yeah, the kid.
He just shockwaved to the sky and tried to hit fire hand cannon his opponent.
With 35 HP.
Are you kidding me? With 35 health? Talk about confidence. It's such an insane play that it catches you from off guard. Stomping, trying to push on it. I believe this is Dubs on the other side of the wall. Stomping gets the wall. Gets the limb. Down goes Dubs. And also in the elimination feed, Aqua, our Fortnite world champion from yesterday, has eliminated Tifu.
¿Cómo que eliminaron a Tifu?
5 out of 6.
Aguanten, me tengo que regresar porque creo que Aqua eliminó a
still
Tifu.
have 1 game remaining.
All right.
Play that it catches the opponent off guard. Stomping, trying to push on it. I believe this is Dubs on the other side of the wall. Stomping gets the wall, gets the limb.
Aqua
Down goes
se
Dubs.
fue.
And also in the elimination feed,
Tifu.
Aqua, our Fortnite world champion from yesterday, has eliminated Tifu.
Tifu. Man, it's too different. Aqua eliminó a Tifu.
Fantastic performances. He had one where he dropped off early. Remember, he
Aqua es el campeón mundial en dúos con
10
Irox.
players in the game, but still keeping his lead.
Ambos miembros de.
In the other 3
¿Quién
games
se llama
at this point,
Color?
He did show some aggression there for a moment, but decides
Color
to put it all on back.
Color
Don't
Aqua.
want to take this 1v1 out in the open, but rather go continue to loot up, earn more materials because, hey, 45 builds, you think, well, that's a lot, but not in any case in a competitive lobby like this. And, well, since he fell back, he's able to get himself a combat shot.
That clicks in the feet, picking up an elimination on Nate. Down to 81 players remaining as this first circle starts to close. 52 seconds left before that happens.
And this first zone, very central on the map. No super drastic rotations need to come on through. Here's a replay from earlier on of how Aqua challenged and eliminated Tifu. Tifu goes to the floor. Aqua gets the floor and And Tifu stands no chance, can't even fire a shot. And there's the frustration from Tifu. He knows he has not had the day he's wanted. One of the biggest names in competitive Fortnite, one of the winningest players of all time, getting shut down here at the Fortnite World Cup solo final.
I would say it's definitely a different playing field than a lot of these players are used to, no matter where they hail from. It's the first time that we've had multiple regions from the entire world all play in the same lobby, the same setup. It's all on land here, so it's just a different scenario for everybody. Especially on top of that, we have younger players that have never had land experience. Nerves can potentially play here, especially pushing in the box. Gets inside, and the elimination. Robats goes down here in the tilted.
And I like that a lot from Luchi, right? Because he's got 200 HP. He's already done a lot of damage to his opponent. He also does 23 more white damage, HP damage to realize, wait, I have a major health advantage as Boom begins to dance on the main stage. But he pushes on in, forces the play, and says, you know what? If you have a trap, I'm still going to survive through it. You're so little HP that I know I'll eliminate you, even if I take 150 damage from the trap. Muga, I mean, I guess this is the kind of mindset he has right now. I'm in first. I've got Shadow Bombs. I've got a launch pad. I've got everything I need. Manny, if you want to play this game, bro, you can play this game. But Muga dances, and his opponent says, no, thank you. No dance battle for me today. I'll back on up.
It's enough to pressure him to rotate.
Imagine dancing and scaring away your opponent. That's you're good at the game.
Whenever you dance, you scare me, though, Jack. Don't worry. 73 players remaining as Cease picks up an elimination. A reminder on the right side of your screen, the format for the day, match 5 of 6. We have 10 points for a victory royale. You make it to the top 5, it's only 7. Make it to top 15, that's 5. Top 25 is 3, and every elimination on the board is an additional point.
And also keep in mind,
a big 46 to white damage, a good signal for Booga that player most likely won't challenge, unless that's the only thing they have left. I'm sure there is opportunity to just rotate away.
Another thing to keep in mind, you see right there, 40% extra materials when farming. You also have a max count of 500 of each material type. So you cannot carry 1,000 wood, or 999 wood, 999 brick, 999 metal. No, it's 500 of each material type. Players building inside this new structure, the corpse of the monster that glorious mech defeated to save the Fortnite Island.
Ooh, a solid hit there. So you're looking at pressure from above, knowing that ramp was closing off for just a second. Going to try and take it over the wall to head it from above. Why is that throwing a stick? Hasn't known it just yet. Very good question. At some point, that's going to have to come out. Maybe pressure the player off of that campfire. Still can't go there. Still can't go there. These stalemates for taking walls, one of the highest pressure situations, because you're on the verge of a box fight with your opponent. You know they're going to push in. They have a trap that might take a wall. Place it. Go with a shotgun shot, 160. The blue pump. Very, very powerful.
That's a 160 in the jaw right there. People missed about the pump shotgun when it was vaulted. As we all know, recently was brought back into play. And for reasons like that, so good in the up-close fights. It's, for a lot of people, the one spot where it just completely outclasses all other shotguns. 4 shotguns in play right now in competitive Fortnite. Storm Surge did pop up, but it went away almost instantly as this lobby has dropped a little bit quicker as things have gone on. People maybe getting more desperate, challenging more early game fights, see if they can get an advantage. Sam won our 4th game using one of these big shields, and look at the inventory right now. Big shields, chug splashes, and I like that a lot. Sam at first decides, you know what, let me use this big shield. I'll get the full 50 health out of it. But because his opponent interrupts it, realizes, well, what's the lesser of 2 evils? That is popping 2 chug splashes, giving myself as much help.
Waiting to see if there's an opportunity to sneak a shot through on the surface inside that ramp. He doesn't own it. Every time he does a little bit of damage, he has an opportunity to replace it. He does, in fact, take it. Push on through the edit, but a big shot from the other side. Down to 71. Those chug splashes coming in big. He might have to wait, though, that last one. Don't left. Pressure from the player inside. Rotating down, immediately popping a hole out and getting in his brawler. Opts to not take that fight, and probably a very good call, seeing as how he took a ton of damage on the inside, where he had a chance to move away. 110 total now. The ball is full HP, though.
If ever saw that legendary Bolt sniper rifle. 175 total health to take a bit of damage right there. Often set up on the left side of your screen in a metal box where no one can be challenging that. Fully built metal. It's just something that when you see in competitive Fortnite with how little ammo you have, you're basically like, all right, I'm not bothering you. You're set up. I'm not bothering you. Just don't peek out and shoot me because it's almost impenetrable, it feels like, with how little time you have to shoot and how little ammo you might have having in these games. A replay from earlier on. Safe. Another one of these close box fights. Gets that ramp. Finds a challenge forward. Basically edited it into the opponent's box. That's good, Jay. And will get the combat shotgun. So a major upgrade from a common tactical shotgun up to a combat shotty. And I'm sure everyone that plays Fortnite knows just how good that is. But back over to Riverside as well. Rolling on through the river.
I just have to say, I'm a little surprised that he opted to take the Bolt over the Shadow Bomb. Looking at late game Fortnite, especially in competitive, oftentimes you see stacks of players on top of each other and no opportunity for a snipe. The Shadow Bomb is going to be a mobility he's not going to have. The baller's gone now. Yeah, some spots, I don't know why he didn't take a Shadow Bomb.
To be honest, I think Riverside viewed that as, all right, I have this baller. I'm going to play around the baller being Shadow Bombs for this game. And that's not the case. What just happened was the worst thing that could have ever occurred for Riverside. His baller's gone. He's got no movement items left, and now he's stuck on his fountain in a box fight.
Just a quick note, Epic Whale is currently in 6th position. Riverside in 4th, so this is a battle at the top of the leaderboard, stuck inside a box, now back in 4th. And Epic cannot quite find the target. Riverside picking up a big leaderboard elimination right there.
That's where I think nerves gets you a little
100%.
bit. You mentioned top 6. He's thinking back in his head. The game here. We get to the $1 million prize pots. And instead, Riverside wins a fight that looked impossible to win. And is now set up on top of the mountain with near max.
Real quick look back here, plug our current leader. Look at the shots through there. Shakes the hands off a little bit, blow off some steam. His arrow goes down the side. Very, very accurate player, Boga. See Bizzle, the top left of your screen, one of the more well-known players, like you said, one of the most consistent players, Jack, in all of Fortnite that we've ever seen. The speed of the builds up here. We're going to try and get a little bit of a higher view. Doesn't want to be stuck down too low in case there's players rotating. Maybe some shots on the baller soon. Pressure being applied on others and ops into that fight as well.
And if you look at where Buka is right now, on your rebound, the closest player on the west side of that zone, safe, and everyone has to move right towards it. Also, 6 minis, near max builds, 4 shadow bombs, 2 launch pads, a shockwave. Buga knows what a fantastic position he's in. If he can make it to late game, he basically has guaranteed placement points.
His way through here. A leftover collection. Have to do some picking up on the inside. Pretty lucky finds on the inside here. Quite a few materials. Flint knock. Got to redeploy a ton of minis. Pretty optimal loadout for both mid-range, up close, depending on who's pushing him. Yeah. Positional wise, no launch pads, no shadow bombs. Does have a slip, but as soon as he's away from that thing, flying, he can establish a base, but making a move after that's going to be tough. He is getting attacked from literally every angle on the way in. Players from all sides taking shots. He's going to have to try and push his way through for elimination, or get out of this area almost immediately. What a tough spot to be in. Shots from both sides. Puts the trap down in anticipation of somebody pushing in, and literally cannot keep the walls up. And that's the downside of being one of the last players to rotate from outside the zone. Everyone you set up, including Buga, knows, hey, if we just spray anyone, they've got to come this way. They're going to be floating right at us. If the whole lobby shoots at them, one of us is bound to get them. We're all going to get damage tags. And when the storm surge just popped up, everyone feeding for a little bit of damage to keep them above that threshold. Thankfully for the players in the lobby, only 2 more people need to drop before storm surge goes away. So don't think it'll come into play too much. All I can imagine a situation like that right now is from the Pro-Am, Tim the Batman getting shot at from multiple sides.
Yeah.
It's just
that was funny. That was funny when
you were one of them, I think.
Yeah, no, my teammate Sean eliminated him. Tim we beat to the dab man on the land and outplaced them as we take a look at players stacked up all on the west side of the zone. People at home don't know that we're literally looking at Tim as we say that, which is make sure it's better. So launch pad used by Booga right away with 2 launch pads with all this other movement. You can see this drive, this movement. And guess what? This is a zone on the high ground. It's directly on this mountain. So for a pretty early on zone, it's going to get awkward right away. Booga has made it in, but it's a lot of damage. We'll use some minis to get back up to 150. Has made it to the zone. Benji Fishy just below, who's currently top 13 in this game.
Player to G still has a little bit of a high ground advantage. Gonna look back at Booga's build his way up. See if we can spot anybody on the move. This position is still very, very good. The edge of the next safe zone. 2 seconds until that pressure starts to apply. And a lot of players you see in the mini-map have already started to rotate in. They're making their moves now with shots from Booga and many others as these players are flying in. Can use launch pads, shadow bombs used in situations like this, and no shield on that player. Booga right now has a total of 16 elims today. King is in second with 15.
That's all it is. You just get set up in the zone, fire people who have to move from the storm. It's a common enemy. Every player in the lobby. Issa did just go down to class, and they also saw Vivid drop a couple moments ago. So nothing really from Vivid in this game, unfortunately. Booga one of them so far. Continue to look on down. Here's the perspective. The drop coming on in. Everyone's made it up on the mountain right now. Still some people on the edge. You see the likes of Cease still alive. Clicks, State, Creo, Cosmic, Skype, who earlier on took home a game of his own in game 2.
A quick note, by the way, Riversun, who we saw eliminate the 6th place position, has gone down himself in 4th. He is out of this game. 44 players reversing your feed, going down to Dementos. And we are not even at placement position just yet. And we're looking at the 6th to 7th circle transition starting in 10 seconds. Everyone has to move. The people that have the best opportunity to take shots back, they're going to be able to pick up a lot of eliminations. Players are going to be on rotation. They're about to get real tough for a lot of the edit.
So they just wait how to hold and roll. Now, I don't think you can hold high ground from this early on. I mean, yes, high ground would be very good, but it's going to be a long rotation. You're going to want to make that happen. Wax is up top for the moment. Booga, you see it soaring on over with the shockwave grenade. Setting up, always getting ahead of the zone as far as possible. Pika there as well.
Going to take even more shots at players on rotation. Very smart plays. The shadow bomb. And he still has 3 more, so this rotation better be a good one. A chance to get ahead of a lot of people here.
I really do love this. He knows how close he is to placement points. And he's got such a lead right now that unless someone has a monster performance, if he just gets placement points and makes it to the top 25 again, with just 2 games left, that could be
Moongrove sigue vivo.
to secure this World Championship. And he got the zone. The zone's going back his way. But Booga goes to end it out, and there's a shotgun waiting for him. Down to under 50 HP, frantically trying to pop these minis. The spray coming on through. Can our leader hang on to placement points? Storm Surge activated on some of the remaining players. Booga peeks out again for a shot. Not going to connect yet. 32 players left. Shadow Bomb being used. Can Booga make it to the top 25? 3 or 4 points. Can be the difference between making it as our #1 player today or 2nd place. Booga's still bouncing up 30 players left. Just so frantically moving around for potential victory.
You notice as soon as they're box to box, right next to the player, players like Booga will opt to build straight up. 1 more, 26 remaining. If 1 more goes down, he's going to pick up placement points. Keep an eye on the feed just to see only 1 elimination remains. There it is, 25. He's like already in the placement points now, so pushing even higher on the leaderboard. And everybody left picks those points up too, but as we move, players starting to drop left and right. Sky still sitting on a wall as well as Fat Pika with the ultimate high ground. And Booga right in the middle, right in the thick of it, on the outside. That's a very smart play. In that moment, go all flying up. You don't want those players to hold on to those. Take the shots to break it out, maybe force an engagement. Only 8 billion team now.
Out of builds, no movement items, made it to top 15. For me, this is already a fantastic game for Booga. He's got placement points. Another elimination. How about a second? Booga, what are you doing? 2 elims come in. He's back up to near full HP, and he's in the top 10, and he's got all the materials he ever need. Booga, how are you making this happen? From no man to no movement. Booga at 3 elims, still ahead of the zone. He can absolutely win this game, Dr. Lupo. 2 away from 4 placement points.
Opts to drop the extra weapons in his inventory. A gold AR with 3 pumps, 6 minis, and a campfire. 42 builds remaining. He's just looking. 5 players left. He is sitting in one of the best spots I think he could have possibly imagined. Creo picking up an elimination. He's sandwiched between Pika, Pisa's, Creo, and the ultimate low ground. He's looking any chance to pop through when a player is not looking to get a shot in might be enough.
Left net, player below. Booga just staying ahead of this. Hasn't taken 1 score tick so far. Player up top fighting, player down low fighting. Can Booga make the impossible happen? Dodges the trap as well, taking a little bit of score damage. He's got to make it on. 1 goal left, drops on it, Booga. No! But either way,
it's all good.
He's done what it needs to do. He knows how important that game is. Now we're in our top 3. Pika up top. Volley gets earlier on today. Jesus and Creo all the way down low.
Wow.
0 builds in Pika's inventory. It's going to be tough. He's going to have to drop in and go for a fight. Cannot connect. Jesus finds that elimination. Creo gets the final one in game 5. Goes to Creo.
I don't think he can believe it. I don't know if anyone caught it at all, but what he does right there is flint knocks the opponent, hits him for that body damage, and then shoots him into the zone. Great game for Creo right there, and you see repping his team. Woo! Clutching on up in the end. Here it is, the final moments. The zone closing. A fully closed zone. Creo's got to build on up. You see, health advantage was to Pieces. Pieces would win that game, but a full damage flint knock connects and swings the tide in his favor. Here it is one more time. Boom! Right to the chest, sends him into the zone, and wins the game. From Creo as he takes game 5 of the Victory Royale, 10 points plus his eliminations.
Huge game there, Jack. We still have one more.
We do. We still have one more game here at the Fortnite World Cup Finals. I don't see any way that Booga's fallen out of first with that performance. He absolutely popped off. We're about to take a look at our standings, but Booga may just be in a position where all he needs to do is find 1 or 2 points. And
there it is. 1 or 2? Are you kidding me?
Ladies and gentlemen, Booga sits atop his throne, far and away in first place. He is 1 game from $3 million. The most eliminations, tied for the most victory royales, by far the most points. Booga has put on a show and is nearing the title of Fortnite World Champion.
Is looking the remainder of your top 20 there. 17 points. That's what you need to break into the top 20, Jack. But even then, you're still 30 points away from first place.
You need a 20-plus Olympic game with a victory royale and 0 for Booga. Good luck, have fun, but we do have Jordan Fisher on the floor. One of our members from that last game.
Playing health right there at the very end. It's such a high caliber game. Again, another stacked lobby right here at the end. You're hoping for some lucky health ticks in your favor, and that happened. Thank God for the best reaction for the wins so far today, in my opinion. Where's your headspace at going into this last game?
Right now, I'm on. Great to hear from Creo right there as takes game number 5, the nerves in those final moments. You saw the celebration. I think he even almost could have how it all ended on up, but Victory Royale, you know, $60,000 and a win like that with how close the standings are could make the difference between earning $50,000, which is still great, but $112,000, which is to follow. But we're not quite ready for game 6 yet. We do have Balla over on Unreal Island. So game 5.
Guys, I do have that, and what a performance here from Booga today. Every single game, almost placing consistently in the points and finding himself some eliminations as well. Only falling in that second game early on. We're going to take a look at some of the eliminations that led him to a top 5 finish here. Booga, first off, breaking the baller on the side of zone, making sure that he knows exactly who's moving in. Why is he moving in with the baller inside of the zone, inside of the center? And then as well, getting an elimination here on conclusion. Absolutely amazing job by Booga there. He actually got into top 5. So an amazing finish. He's got 2 points from that, plus all the other performances, other placements in that match. We've got only 1 match remaining. Just like you guys said, it has to be a big one for somebody to overtake Booga at this point. So Lupo, Courage, please close this out.
Thank you, Ball. As you know, so much on the line here this weekend of the Fortnite World Cup, but it is not the only thing that people are excited about with Fortnite right now, Dr. Lupo. There's always so much going on, and I'm sure a lot of people in this sold-out arena know this week it's time for a new season in this video. You guys want to see the first tease for the new season of Fortnite? I guess we should show it to you. I have not seen this before. Oh! Oh, that epic toast
No.
is back.
No,
August
mommy.
1st, 2019, the next season of Fortnite. Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is, Dr. Lupo?
No, mommy.
Third, I bet is going nuts right now. Jack, Dusty Depot.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys excited for the next Fortnite season?
Madre mía. Madre mía.
First, all will be revealed. And my God, I got the chills right now. That's the first time we saw that. They didn't show us anything of this. Oh my goodness, you see how excited everyone is. And we are moments away from the final game. Everything that's happened. You see the leaderboards. You see how far it is. You're up by so much. What's the rest of this lobby thinking right now?
It might at this point be a battle for second place, Jack. Such a lead right now. Booga showing why he feels as though he deserves world champion. And at this point, I mean, you can't really blame him. He's playing out of his mind, playing incredibly intelligently. Positioning is key, and he's going for placement every single time, showing why he's on top of the leaderboard.
I can't believe he is so far and away the best. It has been something that I think a lot of people expected him to do well, but this well, anyone to perform this well, be this far ahead, unbelievable. In a stacked lobby like this, folks, use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Tell us your thoughts on the teaser we just saw, on what you're expecting from these final games, on your thoughts overall on the World Cup. It has been such a blast to be at this point. I cannot believe the road from where we started to here. These online qualifiers, everyone coming on in, the big names, the teams getting involved. Fortnite competitive is at a fantastic point, and with the millions watching online, it's a testament to how well it's doing.
Absolutely incredible. See a look down at the players getting ready for their final match of the day. 6 games total, the end of this next and final match. We will find out who the Fortnite World Champion in the solos competition is. If you're online, make sure you give some shout outs to those that you think can climb the board. It is still anybody's game. We've seen crazy comebacks before, and it would not surprise me to see it again. Jack, going into this last match,
Yes.
the nerves for some of these players probably at an all-time high.
Yes.
You have to realize there's going to be more after this, though.
Oh,
There's
sure.
got to be more after this.
This is not the end by any means. Yes, it's the biggest event in Fortnite competitive history, but there is still a bright future for this game. The new season coming out, more and more to be announced, I'm sure, very, very soon. All I know is the players are getting loaded up and ready to see them all looking around. What an experience this must be for all of them, their families in attendance. So many people here at this weekend that have been to the first ever gaming event. You know, not a lot happens in the Northeast because right how expensive it is to run events in this area of the country. But Epic do it, and they did it in style. What a fantastic venue. marshmallow performance earlier. I saw how excited everyone was outside at the fan events too. It's been so cool, and I've been part of so many competitive gaming events at this point. It's like my favorite. My favorite. Say it right now.
It's touching, Jen. I appreciate that.
It is. I mean, it might just be. That's all I know. I keep looking around, seeing everyone just excited. Floyd back on in after the bathroom breaks, waiting for this last game. We appreciate your patience as we just get the lobby all set up. Want to make sure everything's all set and good to go. Remember, after this ends, if you're in the venue, don't just rush on out to get home and go back outside of the fan experience. We're going to crown our champion. We're going to crown our world champion. We want to be here for that big moment. Congratulate them. Celebrate the achievement. The trophy. How are they going to get that trophy from home players? Because,
Jack, I'll give you $20 if you charge down there and grab that thing right now.
I almost threw the headset down. I almost threw the headset down, and I thought, you know what? If I don't do that, my career is much more worth it, I believe. Again, look at these lobbies. We played on these setups the other day. You can't really create it. You can just sit there. So you're looking at the leaderboards, and we're used to in-game tournaments, right? Where you can go and see the prize pool and see how the split works. The solo and duos you see there on the screen. The solos, competition is there. You click compete, and the prize pool pops up in-game at $3 million for first. And that's where it first set into me that we were actually at the World Cup final.
Yeah, it's right there on the screen in front of you. It's real. Two of the fan favorites, Dubs and Mega, on your screen right now. And I gotta love that kid's hair.
I mean, I wish I could have hair like that. There's Issa, who quite the loyal following online. Some people were excited to see him perform this weekend. So much pressure for these guys. Look at the fans around the venue. Everyone excited for these games to continue. I think the skins in the background are Chicken and Raptor. We're battling with the Thunder 6 reminding some of our fans in the venue today. Creo again, our winner from that last game. The thoughts going through his head right now must be, I've got to rise this leaderboard. I've got to get as high as possible. Reverse recently announced member of TSM. Always seems like something's going on in Fortnite competitive. Now I think a lot of people wondering too, what's next to come, right? Is it more solos and duos? Is there going to be more of a focus on trios? I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that. Do teams now switch up after seeing this performance? I think teams begin to switch up if they're going to play trios like they should have on their squad.
One of the things I've noticed watching the few trio tournaments that we've seen over the last couple of weekends, teams really have kind of mixed who they typically play with. That being said, one of the things I love the most about watching those is that the groups, it's always changing. But I think that exemplifies just how connected the competitive community really is. A lot of these players, they're all friends. We see Skeptic holding up the L on the camera, which is really very funny, and people doing emotes on each other after elimination in game. But at the end of the day, there's really kind of no bad blood between anybody because they all recognize they're all here for the same thing. It's a competition. On top of that, it probably doesn't hurt that they all take home $50,000 at a minimum, right? Every single player. So yeah, that definitely can't hurt. But real quick before we move on, Jack, I just want to ask, did you ever think that any of these players, the list of names, do you think we'd see these players at this event? I mean, we watched them grow and change over 10 weeks of qualifiers. We saw people kind of rise up out of nowhere sometimes. And the other side of that, we have players like Tifu, who've been well known for forever. It's amazing to see the list.
No, for sure. There's players that I think a lot of people expected to make it in, but didn't. All I know is there's been one player who's dominated so far today. It's Muga, and Sundown is over on Unreal Island with a breakdown of how he made it to this point.
Thank you so much, Lupo and Courage. And with one match left in the Fortnite World Cup final, one match to put everything on the line, the Sentinels player, Muga, has dominated the entire competition. He said from the very beginning, I don't care what's going on. I'm going to do me. I'm going to challenge every single player. I'm going to play aggressively. I'm going to look to get in their faces, get in the end game. The player who qualified from the start made a name for himself after the host and continuing running through. Let's take a look into some of his eliminations and how he's been able to build himself a 15-point lead over the best of the best in the world, and he's doing it by intelligent rotation, getting to the far side of the zone, and then hitting his shots. Kid, Boga says, bring the rest of the lobby on. I'm looking to go aggressive. We talked about King and his shoot first mentality, but the difference between King and Boga is Boga chooses his spots when to go. He knows when he needs to hold off, when he needs to be safe for a second, and when he can go aggressive. You see him stall just for a minute there against Creo, who's pushing in to the top 3, and he is able to execute the game plan, come up with the victory royale, and keep pushing for it. Now, again, you know, right now, he has 0 elims, able to pick up 1 right there, but he's chasing back into the storm. He's not looking to run forward. He's looking to catch them afterward. And same thing there, dropping down, picking up Kinzel, breaking the trap. And this one in particular, incredibly well done. With the infantry rifle, laying down the shots, able to pick that one up. And you know, the one thing I really like to see about Bug after, every single time he hits those shots, real quick, he's just making sure he gets everything clean, no sweat going on him, no sweat indeed, because he is sweating out the rest of the lobby. If you see Sentinel's Bugger running at you, you need to be defensive or disengage, because he is not letting it go. He wants the top spot. He wants to be your wire-to-wire leader, and he wants to name himself the best Fortnite player in the world. One more match left. Lupo and Courage, take it away and close us out.
Great stuff, Sundown. Got to tell a story of how our player in first place has made it this far. Again, we appreciate your patience as we just get a couple things sorted in the lobby, but I believe I've received word everything is set. It all comes down to this. Millions and millions played online. Only 200 qualified for the Fortnite World Cup Finals, and this is the last game. The battle bus has launched one more time. The Fortnite World Cup Finals ends right here.
All 100 players on your screen there, Jack. Booga sitting out in front of everyone thus far. A commanding lead. Rio, the winner of the previous game, playing in the northeast corner of the map. Spread of players across the screen. There's your top 10 on the left side. Booga, Song, Creo, Skype, Nate, Riverside, Rux, and the rest. Average placement thus far of 25th. Rio only 8 eliminations, but 30 points. Enough to put him in 3rd place thus far.
One thing to remember too, yesterday, Nate and Sap held on to the lead for the first 5 games, and it slipped away in game 6. Booga has been in the lead for all 5 games. He has never lost the first place spot. Will he suffer the same fate, or can he close it out right here to remain our Fortnite World Champion?
Booga, by the way, hails from Pennsylvania, 16-year-old player. Sentinels qualified the very first week of the World Cup.
So he just got his first part-time job to try to start earning money to buy himself a car. But instead, after this, could walk away with $3 million. He's going to walk on in and say, I quit.
Can't wait for him to get home. Imagine he wins $3 million here. His parents are going to ask him to take the trash out.
He'll pay his butler to do that, I guess, at that point. This seats currently set up. And he builds one of his very early awkward fights. Cease knows that as well. You look at what he has: the combat infantry rifle, 25 shots, and a drum gun to throw in.
Jack, one of the first 4 to go down in this match is Skype, who was in 4th place.
Wow, so
a very
pressure already gone from the top spot. Cease just moving for the moment. 2 shot splashes. If I do as he throws it down, can you see all the players surrounded outside the sunny steps side of the map. Cease continues to bounce around for a moment. Not many AR shots left. We'll get some out of the ammo crate, which is good. Everything counts. The farming of stone continues. Boffin and Zate outside of Blue Lake, just playing on the outskirts of it.
Just kind of building, walling against any pressure from Zate. Doesn't want to get caught on rotation. Interesting load out that gold combat very early. That's a very solid pickup to start this match. Single shockwave remaining. Legendary grenade launcher. Drum gun in hand as well.
We talked about a great starting inventory. Swap on over. Blaster to fight. Some pressure plan. One player nearby, only at 73 HP. But again, when you're this far in the tournament, you kind of get to the point where you just got to go for it. You got to just force an engagement. You got to get the points up. Shot comes on through. Not able to get it done as of yet. Blaster still healing up. Will have bandages to get back up to 75 HP.
It looked like Tfue picking up an elimination. Let's see here how things play out. 90 players remaining. The first circle starts to close in 50 seconds. Bandaging on the egg. Blaster just hanging out here. That player down below. Going to see if he can take shots here in a second. T-Chub's going to roll all the way down. Looks like no engagement going to happen here. Yarko, Slewicki, two players that have faced off against each other a number of times. Will go for the wall. And in fact, gets the angle inside and pushes on through. A solid aggressive play from Slewicki to pick up his first elimination of Game 6.
Very clean, and that will end Yarko's Fortnite World Cup run. Solid performance earlier on. We'll see where he stacks up with the rest of this lobby when it's all said and done. Reminder, this is our final game here tonight. Use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Get it trending just like yesterday. Alongside the millions of people watching online. Sam, who is our player as well, near the top of the leaderboards. What can he do in this last game? Can he make the trek to try to catch up to Booga, who was 15 points ahead in first?
The 1v1. And angled down through a handful of edits here at Mega Mall. He's going to push around the side and try and make his way inside. Mall itself, Pika earned 12 of his total points in just the last match. And I think that says a lot about what is possible. 11th place when we rolled into this game. Pika trying to find a way inside, pushing down through the outside. Does in fact get the wall replace? Are you kidding me? Used the shockwave to get down the wall. The player inside was smacking out of it. That's unbelievable.
He called the bluff. He called the bluff. The guy was trying to break the wall to secure it for his own. Pika was like, okay, break the wall for me. I'll just replace it my own. He does just that. Pika, full HP, 2 slurp juices, 6 minis. A very good assault rifle with a shotgun, but it looks like the aggression doesn't end here. Wall is fully broken. Aaron's place is up. And he gets his box fights. He uses the shockwave to try to drop down his opponent again. Said it once. I'm surprised you use that same tactic here,
This play, 100 HP, 100 shield. I do not blame him for being aggressive here. Knowing that players may be a little sparse in terms of loot, he's trying to track Keemstar on the outside, rotating around the edge of Mega Mall. These two players going to end up on top of each other before you know it. Oh my gosh. Floor loot.
Okay.
A heavy sniper rifle.
And another slurp. Okay.
He's looking for it.
It's like that, man.
See him watching. Not in. Does use those audio cues to try and track down the opponent underneath. Opts to back out of the fight for just a second. Get a different angle. Pika's awareness inside Mega Mall is insane. Knowing exactly where his opponents are and exactly when to push. Already picked up 1 elimination using those skills. Let's see if he can find a second player in the slip. Going for the snipe. Oh, and he can't quite connect.
Imagine what would have happened in this arena if he gets that shot. Yeah, he dabs after it. And he dabs after it. He's like, all right, this is mine. See you guys. With Jay, the only rated player in the Mega Ball area. Pika's going to go back. Up. Another slurp still inside, so Pika knows if he gets in a fight, he can get the elimination. Even if he's weak, he can pop a slurp, go grab another. Don't know what's going to happen yet. Shift our focus. There's Boog on your screen, Core Gaming, and Veggie Fishy. A couple boxes of each other, maybe a fight right down here.
Snow rolling in the top right as well. Now the baller. Ball moving on the screen. Edges there. Laleo doing quite a bit. A ton of damage taken. Meanwhile, back at that small town in the southeast corner of the map. Banning, Arkram, back in a 1v1. Most likely, honestly, round 6 of these two facing off the beginning of these games. 73 players left. The Storm right on their backs. He's going to start moving here in a middle battle, but these two decide to fight it out right now. He phased through the floor. Could have opted to go up. Misses the shot. A little bit of damage. And a 140. Going to opt for a mini. Even just the 10 shield might be enough to save him from Arkham. See here, pressure to stink. Just trying to find a top down and kind of lead the shots on what may or may not be a build out from Arkham. Like do it, Arkham dropping all the way down the campfire. He's going to drop that on one corner in an effort to push Arkham out of the box. Unbelievably, honestly, what a shot from Arkham from the bottom there. A quick edit on the ceiling, shot comes through.
Held very similar between the two. Slight advantage to Arkham right now.
Have to imagine that almost every 1v1 between these two has played out so complexly. If we're watching this right now, I guarantee you this is not the first time we've seen it. What a shot, a quick flip and edit on the ramp.
Cat and mouse. It's literally cat and mouse in this fight.
This is one of the most insane 1v1s I think I've ever seen. 64 HP remaining. Bandit's going to have to back all the way to the top, maybe the campfire down. Second gets dropped in. Going to have to wall against that. The ramp to save him. One chance for the minis is going to wall off, still back and forth between these two titans. The campfire goes down. As soon as that wall edit happens, the ramp inside just to prevent any push from the opponent. Arkham finding another angle might be the only option at this point. The campfire, though, is going to have dealt a lot of HP back to Vanny. Shot through, can't quite connect. Here we go, pressure up top. And gosh, the pyramid block. Finally, the Storm deciding it's time to play the fight out. And Vanity goes down.
Hey, great fight, though, man.
That was insane.
That went on for a full 2 minutes. I love that we got to keep our eyes on that, but moving across the map now, it's Pika. We were complimenting so much on how easily he can move these boxes in Mega Ball, how he can navigate these areas, and it looks like that same exact pattern is continuing. It's Grexy, who's at a major health disadvantage, but as I say that, does hit a quick little shotgun shot that I think will push Pika away for a moment or make him reassess what he's doing. Maybe a miss click. It looked like he didn't really need to do that.
Actually, he's going to have to try and take some sort of aggressive stance soon. A minute on this Storm before it closes. He's not in the next safe zone. Road Shark in the feet, picking up an Elam. We're down to 68 players remaining. Inside of that 70 range where the Storm starts to tick on him.
Pika, no wall in place yet.
He's just trying every chance he can to take these walls. This is the speed of these players. This is some insane stuff. This is why they're here at the World Cup. Can't quite hit the shot. He did a reset, took the other corner out, just as the opponent inside takes a shot with the shotgun. Can't quite connect. Big hit there, down to 16 HP.
And he's got no mass. He's got 2 total builds, so with the zone pushing as well, this looks like it's going to be a shadow bomb play. Pika is actually going to dive into the zone to make his path a little bit less predictable. He will take the long route. 10 health, he's got a launch pad. I'm going to tell you right now, Pika is not happy. Yeah, you see him kind of sigh right there. Uses both shadow bombs. Uses all the materials he has. Really can leave one wall, can't even box up for safety. Uses one of his launch pads to not a fun spot to be in. Pika looks still can't even build one box.
Does have the minis. He's got a campfire in case he wants to put it down. I think the fear at this point is if he puts that campfire down, it's like a signal flare for anybody around. This is the box to push. Meanwhile, Tifu, Dusty Divot flying across, landing near more opponent builds potentially. Back down, shots at the target he was right next to. He's in this box alone. You see in the mini map a handful of players around Dusty Divot. Clicks, reverse, Bizzle, you see in the top far out there.
And Clicks is actually one of his trio partners. Previous trio cut the half. They're fighting each other right now. Trying to make his way out of the zone yet. Really uses his launch pad and then uses last shot bait forever as well. There is some loot nearby, but player challenging teams go back up for a moment and rebox. Oh yeah, we got a fight here, Tifu. 1 versus 1. Is it Clicks? Not exactly sure. It is Clicks on the other side of this wall. So Tifu versus Clicks. Veteran versus the up-and-comer. Back after the moment, it looks like there's another player nearby as Clicks will just say, nope, don't need this anymore. We'll fly away. Carbu goes down in the elimination feed. Cease goes down in the elimination feed. 63 players left. No Storm Surge in this one yet.
Buga picking up an elimination. His first of this match. Just another point between him and second place.
And consistency so key, and Buga has embodied that today. Only one bad game. The rest have been absolutely electric. Buga's just sat up with the high ground in the zone, waiting patiently for the lobby to drop on down. Stacey now one box away from an opponent. 54 HP, needs to perfectly edit one of these walls and get a shot down range. You see his opponent not sitting still for a moment. Expects him to drop in, and that's exactly what happens. He's finding the patterns and how his opponent likes to play these box fights. But still with no healing and his opponent jumping back up, you got to think some shields will be replenished, and Stacey will be at even more of a health disadvantage.
Has to go for the reset on the floor.
No shields pop.
Go, catches himself. We're going to hold the edit on this pyramid. He's looking for a chance to push Martin. If one arises, we'll have to see. Stacey's hope may be to catch him off guard. Here we go. Here's the shadow bomb. Going to rotate up and away. Use that, redeploy, and try and make his way into the safe zone. Only 54 HP. He's not quite safe yet, but now's the chance to look to the right. Get a couple shots, player inside the box as he lands right next to him. The edit through, and Rogue Shark sets the trap and gets him. Tough play there. Clicks. Meanwhile, one elimination, 62 builds. It's about 2 shadow bombs. Let's see here, the very north edge. He's underneath the plateau of Dusty Divot. Reverse down there as well. Tito on the edge. Astonish, Speed, Zape. So many players stacked up near each other. And oftentimes you do see players utilizing the already built structures for easy wall replaces. No surprise. Popped up.
His inventory looks great. He just doesn't have a lot of ammo.
Imagine he takes up one elim on someone who's can kind of fill those numbers up. Look at it. He's be a great spot for late game. 7 RPG. Still very, very good. 69 total builds on the 60 now. 56 players remaining. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final game of the solo competition here at the Fortnite World Cup. It literally all comes down to this.
5 players right
after this game. That's just into this third lift. Look at launch pads. Great loot. The player was took down. So again, let's have 2 launch pads. And he's trying to use one of those. He wants to make sure he makes those placement points, and there it comes. Launch pad, get beamed. Right, this is one of those moments where you're just thinking that. Looks like he'll make it up for one team.
Literally flying past the windows. Oh, it's going to land on top of the second structure. Somebody underneath. Started layering up 86 builds. Still has another launch pad. Has a boogie just in case maybe a baller rolls past close enough. You can leave the player directly out of it. Try and pick up that jump and give the baller and roll away. In a clutch situation, the boogie bomb can give you an opportunity for a free shotgun shot on someone that may be unsuspecting. The loadout here, look at this: 2 campfires, 10 redeploys, 2 shockwaves, 6 minis, but no medium ammo, Jack.
A crazy note with Buga. When the Fortnite World Cup qualifier started, Buga qualified in Heat 1, in NA, in first place. From the moment Fortnite World Cup started, the North America region. And now in another spot again where it can happen, and he's just dancing up top. He knows really this is his to take, unless someone has legitimately the best performance ever in the history of a Fortnite competitive game. Buga should be our Fortnite World Champion. Tifu and Benji Fishy fighting on the bottom right of your screen. Sal is trying to contest and take that throne. Replay did get his first limb of this game, and you see the fist bump right there. That was Clicks who gets cut down.
At this point, 51 players remaining. This lobby is going to get very, very tight. Going into this match, saw almost 2 points ahead of third place. but 15 points behind first.
Talk about a lead. We've just now hit our top 50 in this game. Arkham goes down. Saw one elimination. Can he close the gap? If you think about it right now, he's still 15 behind Ben. Luke is still in this game. What he needs right now, Luke gonna go down, and he needs 5 more limbs and a victory royale, but no! Saw gets caught off guard. It's synced, and as that happens, Booga gets a limb. The pieces are falling into place, and Booga's about to call checkmate.
Tifu on your screen here. 3 eliminations. Still has the launch pad, sitting on a pretty similar loadout. Not a lot has changed as he's waiting, biding his time, looking for eliminations up above the rest, though. Booga.
He hasn't had to move in 5 minutes.
Nope.
He's had a height. He hasn't had to move in 5 minutes. He's sitting so pretty. Here's that limb that we missed when Song got taken out. And
are you kidding? Look at him laughing. Look at him absolutely laughing. Quick one tap on Storm on the move.
It's a gift. It's his birthday. That's about as free as it gets.
Booga might be the luckiest player with zone placement I think we've ever seen in a competitive Fortnite match. Sitting atop his tower, a castle of metal, unthreatened.
And he built it with metal earlier, and he just kind of hoped it would work out this way, and it did. He's been sat here for so long. It basically sums up the leaderboard. This is the leaderboard in the game itself. Booga on top, nobody nearby, no threats, nothing. Now with the zone moving, everyone's soaring. And this is where it picks up quick, folks. The final moments of the Fortnite World Cup. We're watching Booga. Oh, please, go. Imagine.
Picking up a pair in the feed there. Floodboys and Dubs both go down. Give me 2 very good eliminations there. 38 players remaining. Top 25 is when placement starts to come in. And Booga is looking for shots on everybody flying around. Still has that high ground advantage. He's looking to try and contest it. Benji Fishy moving up as well. Ballers still rotating the low round. Tifu making his way across. A lot of damage coming in. Only 1 man in the inventory and 15 builds remaining. A tough spot for Tifu.
But can he survive? It's hit with elimination.
Now continuing to drop. Whistle. Takamura, Zay picking up multiple eliminations. 30 players remaining. 29. We get closer and closer. The Benji Fishy goes down. Tifu eliminated. In the box, Kurtz picks that one up.
Now and Tifu's Fortnite World Cup. Zay drops off high ground for the moment. Booga's still alive in this game at the bottom right hand screen. Still a max HP. He's made it in the top 25. At this point, it's basically a victory lap. Yeah, he's getting beat down. He doesn't care. He'll drop on it, pop some minis. King on the top right at 6 limbs. The guy's an absolute brawler. The 13-year-old should be so proud of how he played today. Ball moves up top. Through the double ball by Booga.
Another elimination. Takamura goes back.
Booga now into your top 20. Mongrel, your Fortnite World Cup is over. Vivid's still alive in this game. It's Crew with 4 limbs atop our leaderboard right now. That's most limbs of who's still alive. Booga there as well. Has all the ammo in the world, not a lot of materials. Let's see how he weasels his way out of this one.
Ball moving up the high ground. Teachout going for a challenge up top. Doesn't quite take it over. Meanwhile, Booga. Box fight for his life. A little back and forth here. Is waiting to see if this player rotates out. There it is. A big shot. Another elimination.
He's got near max material. He's going to trap the ball. Oh, the ball escapes. The absolute scenes right now. Booga still moving through, and at this point, it's a sign of respect. We've got to watch this man continue to dominate. A statement is being made. Dr. Lupo at the end of this game, he'll most likely be crowned the 5th Fortnite player in the world.
I've never seen anybody play in a competitive Fortnite match with a smile on his face like this kid right now, but he is absolutely dominating every single player he's run into thus far. First shot here. A couple of minutes, rotates back away, pressure from above, he's immediately going to wall that off.
Top 10! He's smiling! He knows it! He knows it!
Ridiculous.
9 players left. Unrelenting. dropped out first since today started. There's all the remaining players. Running low on materials, but he still wants more. 4 lives in this game. Toss it up for a moment. Pyramid comes through. Booga, still alive. Shots going down. Can't connect with that one. 1 build left. The final moments of Fortnite. Oh my gosh. Bow down. Bow down to Booga.
GG, Booga.
Players remaining. It's a fight out for the victory. Game 6. 1v1. Brew still in it. T-Chubb as well, back and forth. And it might come down to a heel-off. T-Chubb dropping down those campfires. We'll see here. Brew following it all the way in, and T-Chubb goes down. Brew with a victory royale. Brew with 7 eliminations and the victory royale. The monster performance at the end of it. That could have just secured him hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maybe even over $1 million by just that game right there with how he does. But ladies and gentlemen, there's no way anyone beats him. Your Fortnite World Champion, Booga! $3 million richer. The biggest individual prize victory in competitive gaming history. Millions watching online, and folks, he didn't narrowly win. He absolutely took the best Fortnite lobby in history and taught him a darn lesson. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time
Booga,
for Fortnite
mejor
World
jugador de
Champion.
Fortnite del mundo en solo.
There's his family looking up. Hey, get double chicken. Get the extra meat. Do the whole thing. He's buying. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Se destacó en algunas partidas.
I don't know what that is, but that's not gonna bet his dad if he's gonna roast like that. It's all about Booga hasn't moved, as will probably need security to get him to leave this arena. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up again for Booga, your new Fortnite World Champion. We have casted almost every single major Fortnite event up to this point, Dr. Limbo. I have ever seen a performance come close to that. So far and away, the winner that literally they backstage didn't even have to calculate it. It was done immediately.
Normally, folks, we do have to wait a minute or two, and then they can triple check. They went right to it. It was absolutely ridiculous. Out of the gate. The trophy presentation, by the way, is coming up very, very soon with Jack. Booga from game 1, a 19-point victory royale to start the entire thing all the way to finish.
He nearly doubled.
Lord.
He nearly doubled second place.
59 points.
That is one of the most dominant performances in competitive gaming history. Second, congratulations to Sam, who beats out Epic Whale by 1 point to earn $1.8 million. Epic Whale, Creo, King there as well. You see Brew, Skype, Nate, Riverson, and Fatch. And then on top, 20,
top 3.
Brooks, T-Chubb, Mongrel, Stumpy, Dubs, Ika, Bailout, Flicks, Peter Pan, and Commandment. $112,500 or more earned. But as always, congratulations to everyone who made it this far out of the biggest stage, the Fortnite World Cup Finals. Absolutely ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. From myself, encourage JD the opportunity to cast the Fortnite World Cup. Could not